Good morning. Although there's nobody on here, so I'm talking to myself. And if you're watching this as a recording, it could be any time of the day. Now, I thought, not sure if anybody's going to jump on this call or not, but I thought I would run through a few things anyway. Mostly, I've been doing these live calls and doing some live trading using the 8-minute traders post-8 alert software. And I'm also using fully automated EAs to trade Forex as well. And more recently, I've through Avoria Prime, I've been using their AP Social PAM accounts, and only very early days, but really exciting too. I have also been using Avoria Prime's Crypto Advantage trading. That's just a completely automated setup for people as well. Although I'm not going to show anything to do with that here on this call, but the results there have been positive, but I've only really been getting about 5% profit per month, which in the grand scheme of things is fine. They had a few issues. I'm not quite sure exactly what they were, but they weren't. What they were saying is they weren't getting the full benefit of that trading script, and they've got a couple of new scripts out now, so I'm going to swap over to those scripts and see how they go. But it's been a very safe trading strategy. There was really barely any losses, just only very small profits. I think some of the there's almost a profit every day, not every day, but sometimes they were profits were barely worth having, but profit's better than nothing. And I think sort of like the very best days that I had were about 0.6% profit for the day, which is fine. Get average that would be awesome. But I just sort of touch on that. And Avoria Prime's AP Social is set up exactly the same as Crypto Advantage, if you've been looking at that, except they're actually Forex trading PAM accounts. If you don't know what PAM accounts are, they stand for, let me see if I can get this right, percentage allocation management something or other. I forgot. I had it there before. But essentially what it is you have your own funds in your own trading account with your own trading account in a broker, but it's linked to a guy or a group of people that do the trading for you. And depending on the PAM account, they may just be completely manually trading. They may be using various softwares and indicators, whatever, but they've got their trading, however they do it, their trading strategy. And your account's linked to theirs. And, depending on how much money you've got in there, that allocates you a certain percentage of that overall group account. And then that person that's running that PAM, they take a percentage of the profits that they make for you, and that's their little buddy, their little kitty for doing the work for you. And there's no set amounts that can vary. I've seen PAM accounts that take 50% of the profits, and the one I'm doing at the moment, which is only because I got in on a special deal, they take 15% of the profits. So that's what the person running the PAM gets out of it. For Avoria Prime, they get the usual sort of subscription thing. They charge a $300 setup fee, and then I'm not sure who gets the benefits of all of that $300. It's probably just Avoria Prime, and they also, if you've already got an active subscription with Avoria Prime, an active access pass of silver or above, then there are no more other costs involved with the PAM or with the Crypto Advantage. If you don't have a silver subscription with Avoria Prime, then you get charged $75 a month for both, if you're just using AP Social for the PAM accounts, there'll be a $75 a month fee. If you're using Crypto Advantage, there's a $75 a month fee. At the moment, I'm not sure of the current deals, but I know if you do have a Silver Access Pass or above, which will cost you essentially $230 a month, then you'll get access to two of Avoria Prime's tools, so they can be indicators or fully automated EAs. And you'll also get that $75 fee for Crypto Advantage and the $75 fee for AP Social Wave. So if you're doing Crypto Advantage and AP Social, that would be costing you $150 a month. So, that may be how you want to go with it. But if you're, for just an extra $80 a month, you could get two more tools. So like I'm using the Market Makers Trend DA. So if you've got the Silver Access Pass, there's huge value in that at the moment. But this call is mostly going. I'll go through and I'll show you my results. And it's still Friday, so it's still live and actively trading. So I'll show you my live account with both using the Market Makers Trend DA and my AP Social stuff. But just for the moment, I am going to I'm going to share my screen, and I am going to go to my account that I am trading trading my post-8 alert software from 8-Minute Trader on. Before I get into any of it too much, I do want to run through some thoughts that I have on automated software, on the alert software, on manual trading, on the PAM accounts and all of that. Mostly because I think it's important to have a proper understanding and the correct expectation when you start doing something like that. So probably if you could learn to be a manual trader, and a good one, then that's probably the best. But that is going to take a lot of time and practice to get there for sure. And honestly, a lot of people won't get there because there's a lot of mindset and psychology that goes into sticking with the plans and everything. So talking about softwares and indicators are softwares. They're softwares that are running algorithms based off chart data and coming up with information for you to use in your trading. And most traders, like manual traders, they don't do it all themselves. They use certain indicators at least, there's a whole range of indicators. I'm not going to get into that. But I want to sort of compare manual trading to 8-minute alert software to fully automated EAs like MMT. Now, it's like these sort of softwares and the programming that goes into them, they're getting better and better and more advanced. But at the moment, simple and possibly forever, but there's simply not possible to have something that's perfect. A manual trader is not perfect either, of course. They have winning trades, they have losing trades. It's all about taking out the trades that have the highest probability of winning. You could have a perfect trade set. You could be the best trader in the world. You could have the perfect trade set up that has the highest probability of winning, and it could lose. And that does happen. I'm sure any professional trader would tell you the same. Excuse me. So that's manual trading. Even when you're really good, you have a great setup, you do everything by the book, you can still lose. Now, this alert software, what it does is it gives you, it's not like, okay, so on the chart here, oops, you can see, yeah, it says buy. It says buy. Just quickly how it works for those, I think most people are interested at the moment in this, is what it does is it'll come up with an arrow. I think Sal was saying there are 11 things that have to line up, tick the boxes of 11 different things in order for you to get a full alert, either buy or sell. When some of them line up and it's looking like it may become an alert, you get an arrow. If the rest line up and it becomes a confirmed alert, then this arrow would have changed to buy, which didn't happen. It did here and it did here. Now this is important. Getting an alert that says buy doesn't mean you should place a trade. It's the software going, hey, you should check this out. Okay, here is a potential trade. We've run our algorithms and aligned our 11 little bits and pieces. So, there's a good chance that, this may be a trade. But we're not telling you should trade. We're saying, hey, check this out and make a decision. Why? Simply because, as I said, no programming software to do with trading can be absolutely perfect. So this is how Sal was explaining it, that the goal is for, and it's still not perfected, so it doesn't always happen, but the goal is for every breakout that there is, they want the software to give you an alert to it. Okay, so if there's a breakout, they want an alert so that you have a chance to get in on that breakout. But for that to happen, you will always get some alerts that aren't good alerts. Simple as that, So because those 11 things line up, that there's a good chance of a breakout, but there may not be, or it could go the other way. Let me try and find another chart. So because this chart is great, this buy alert would have been a winner. This buy alert, would have been a winner. So I've just had an alert come through on. No, I haven't. That was just the one I'm on. So this is a good example of how well the software works. A buy alert, you would have won. A buy alert, and you would have won. I want to find an example of a bad alert. Okay, this one. It would have been on this candle that the alert was confirmed and the market's dropped right down. Okay, so we got a buy alert and the market's dropped right down. So this, in hindsight, was a bad alert. But those 11 things lined up so that the software gave you the alert. And because of that, in hindsight, I said it turned out to be a bad alert. But also, I would not have taken this trade out. So I would have got the alert and I would have had a look at what the market was doing. And because the market was simply ranging and not in a clear uptrend, I wouldn't have taken that trade out. So all the software has done is, hey, you need to check this out because a few things have lined up for us. And I've checked it out. And then I've looked at the history of it and decided not to take it out. So I just wanted to make that clear that because it says sell and it says buy, it looks like you should sell or buy, but you need to make a bit of a decision yourself based off a few other factors. And there is a good training in our chat group that Sal did the other day on the various different things he looks at before he decides to take out a trade. How you going, Wayne? Still muted. I'm sure that's how your wife likes you, though. I'll keep talking. You let me know when you've unmuted yourself. But yeah, so the beauty of the alert software for me is that I have the alert software on all of these pairs, and I could have it on a lot more.
That pair or less.
There you go, mate.
Good.
What have you been up to?
Doing a bit of trading, losing a bit of money. Yeah, just
Making some money, losing some money.
A bit interested in this.
That's it. Yeah, I was just going through and sharing a few things. I'm sort of recording this too. I was talking about mostly talking about 8-minute trader at the moment, but I was sort of touching on a few of the other things that I'm doing through Avoria Prime here in a minute as well. But I'll keep going through what I've been going on. But if you've got any questions, sing out. So what I like about for me, this is the beauty, the advantage of the alert software is that there's no way I could manually do an analysis and keep an eye on this many pairs. So I've just thrown the software onto all of these pairs, and I'll get a big bling will pop up. I can direct a notification to my phone, whatever I'd like, and when that happens, like an alert will come up. I'll come across here and go. Imagine the window popped up saying there's an alert on AUD NZD. I just open up that chart, and I'd have a look at it, do a little bit of an analysis myself, and decide whether I thought that was going to be a good alert or not. Not that I've got an alert on this one yet, but we can see we do have the arrow. And what I was saying before, Wayne, was with this, there's 11 different things, like indications that the software lines up before it gives you an alert. When some of them have lined up, in other words, this could be potentially turning into an alert, they put in an arrow, and depending on the next couple of candles, what happens, that arrow will either just stay as an arrow, which is an unconfirmed alert, or it'll change to the word buy, and then that's when you get the notification to come and check it all out. So what I'll be doing here is if any alerts come through, this isn't by any means my favourite time to be trading, but if any alerts come through that I like the look of, I will be taking out some live trades here to show you how it goes. And I have during this week done 3 live trading sessions using the software, and I've made profit on all 3 of them. Although one of them was so close to break even, it wasn't funny. The other one was a small profit, and the other one was a good profit. But I'm just happy that I was able to have a 100% success rate on my live trading so far. Not that I expect that to happen, and anybody that's done any trading knows that it won't. But I might show you how. Let me see. I'm just trying to find some charts because I don't have okay, so this one here, NAS 100, I don't have the alert software on it yet. But to put it on, like initially, once I paid my subscription to 8-Minute Trader, I had to download software, and it was just like click the download button. I had to put in my product code, which proves I paid for it, and I had to put in the ID number for this particular MT4 platform, and then it automatically installed everything into it for me. So what it installed automatically was the post-date alert trade manager and the 8-Minute Trader here, and MTM's another one, but I had to do all that again to get that in there. And excuse me. And then you end up with some templates in the template folder here. And so I've got the 8-Minute Trader. So I'll get into that one again in a minute. But at the moment, you've got two options for the alerts, Forex ones or indices, metals, and also crypto for this one at the moment. So this is NAS 100. It's an indices. So I just click on that and it automatically sets this all up. And it also just populates any. This is sort of an important point, but if you've been running this alert software on this chart all week, and you'll have a certain number of alerts all set up, but then if you turn it off or stop it or just reload it like I just did, it'll calculate the past alerts, sort of starting from where we are now. Whereas the other one, so my point is that because I've just turned it on now, these past alerts may not line up with somebody that's had theirs running all the time. So it's best to just leave them, once you've got the software on the chart, just leave it on there. And wait for those alerts and check it all out. I do have a few charts here because I just restarted all mine just before. So I will just load them all up so that we get the very best chance of some alerts while I'm on the call. So these ones are Forex alerts. So I'm putting them all on the 1 minute time frame. I don't always trade the 1 minute time frames, but on these live calls I have been, because on the 1 minute you've got more candles happening, more action, and therefore more chance of getting some good alerts while we're on the call. If you're trading the higher time frames, because like even on the 5 minute time frame, you got on the 1 minute, you've got 5 times as many candles as on the happening every minute than you do on the 5 minute. So that just means you're going to have more opportunities and more alerts come through. But just like any manual trading, which this is, when there's more volume in the market, when there's more volume in the market, so essentially when London and New York are open, then you're going to get more movement, more volatility, which will equate to more alerts and more trade opportunities.
Hey Les, how many charts you going to try and look at?
Well, at the moment I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 on there at the moment.
Shitload.
I've got gold, I've got a couple of cryptos, I've got 4 indices and the rest of Forex ones. But what you can also do is and I do have this, I've got, let me scroll through here. I do have gold on the 1 minute time frame with the software on it. I've also got gold on the 5 minute time frame. That just means, and you'll get different alerts because the market, it's all based off market structure. So on the 5 minute time frame, that's what it looks like. On the 1 minute time frame, that's what it looks like. It looks totally different because we're zoomed right in. So you'll get different alerts. I think sometimes the 1 minute is sometimes a little bit volatile, and maybe sometimes the alerts aren't quite as accurate. You will get a lot more, but averaged out, you still make profit. On the higher time frames, not always, but sometimes the market's a bit neater and smoothed out, whereas on the 1 minute it can be a little bit more erratic just because you zoomed right in on it all. But yeah, all right, so there's our first alert come through since we did it, and that's on Ethereum. I honestly haven't been doing a lot of crypto trading, but I put them on there anyway. But we'll have a look at it just because we're on a live trading call here to see how it all works. So really what I would do when I get an alert is I would jump on here and I'd have a look, so on the 1 minute, it does, it is in an uptrend, but that's only a small section looking at the 1 minute time frame. So I'd like to zoom it out quite a bit and see what's happening. And so the market zoomed out is sort of ranging more than going up and down, although we've sort of bottomed out and we've started coming up. And so potentially there's a buy opportunity here, I would say. And what I also want to look at is where the next sort of where market structure is, so I do still like to do a little bit of an analysis. So I would say there is a little bit of resistance there where it's been bouncing, but other than that, not real strong resistance because it broke through it there and it's also broken through it there. So up here, so if I took this trade out, I could potentially be looking at taking that much profit, although I do think there is a bit of resistance here. It's bounced a couple of times here. Over here, it's bounced off it a bit. So, I wouldn't say that's a really great trade, but possibly okay. And we just had another alert come through on New Zealand, on this one.
So when you say that alert comes through, Les, did it come through on your phone or something? Did you know that it was?
No, there was a little box popped up here on just above my market watch.
Oh, yeah.
And it told me about it there. You can also just send those notifications through to your MT4 app on your phone, so you do get them on your phone as well. But one of my biggest failings as a trader has been over trading, because potentially you can sit down any time of the day or night and make some money. So you just keep, making money is addictive. So you keep trading. But if you do that, you start over trading, you start, you get tired, your head starts to go a bit weird, your brain's over traded, and you start to make worse decisions. I think personally it's important to have a goal. If you make that goal, let's say you got a goal to make 5% for the week. If you make 5% on Monday, you've done it. You should just knock off, but you don't because it's so early in the week. You want to keep trading. But here's a little example. Imagine if you were just working a 9-to-5 job, going to work 5 days a week. At the end of the week, you got your paycheck. Let's say you're making $1,000 a week on your job, 9-to-5 job. You do that and you're used to it. That's fine. But imagine if Monday you came to work and at lunchtime the boss said, "Here's your $1,000 paycheck. Have the rest of the week off." You're not going to fucking argue. Sorry, I shouldn't be swearing because I'm recording this, but you're not going to argue. You're going to go, "You're a bloody beauty, mate. Take your check and you're going to go and knock off. You're not coming back that week, are you?" Not quite exactly the same with trading, but you should have that sort of mindset as well, I think. I mean, personally, if I had a really good Monday, I'm not going to stop for the week because I actually like trading as well. But you should, not trade risky. You should sort of be happy that you already made your goal. Sure, do a bit more trading if you want to, but don't just trade every single day because you're already there. There's nothing, and this isn't theoretical because I've done this plenty of times. There is nothing worse than reaching your goal on Monday and then you keep trading and by Friday you're behind the 8 ball. Or even if you make 5% Monday and then you trade Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. By the time the market closed on Friday, you've only made 1% for the week. You just kick yourself because not only were you better off, you've done all of this trading, incurred all of this stress and extra work for nothing or less than nothing. You've gone backwards. So that's just my opinion on that. But anyway, getting back to this last alert, we got this buy alert. The market's obviously trending up there at the moment. And if I zoom out, so the market's in a good trend upwards here. On the 1 minute time frame. Hang on, I just want to go back a bit. The only trouble with this trade, like at the moment, this is a good trend up, good potential for a buy. The only issue I can see is that we're getting pretty close to this resistance here. I would say resistance. I'd put in a resistance line there. And I'll come back to here. And this is my resistance line here. So we've got two lines on the chart. We've got the buy and the sell price, and between that is a spread, which compared to how far I reckon the market could move, which is my resistance line, that's pretty big, if I had, it was on this candle here that the alert came through. So I'm not going to take a trade on this one, but I am going to put in a, I could have potentially got into this trade right here. So we'll just see how it plays out. The only reason I'm not taking this trade is that I think the market could very well reach resistance here and come back down, or it might already be doing that. Everything else looks good, but I don't think there's potentially enough room to make much profit. If there was no resistance in sight or resistance was right up further, then I would have taken this trade. The other thing is that, the market just recently, we've had 3 buy alerts in a row, or 2 of them would have been profit. This one's undecided yet. So we've already had a fairly significant move up. There's a good potential that it could, particularly with resistance not being far away. That's just sort of my quick analysis. That's why I didn't take that trade out. The other part of 8-minute trader that I haven't really talked about much yet is we've got, there's a couple of things with the post-8 alert software. You also get this, which is the trade manager. You have to turn it on to true, and then you can set where you want your take profit and where you want your stop loss. Just have that wherever you want. And now whenever I place a trade, it's going to put a take profit and a stop loss. This is in points, so that would be 10 pips and 10 pips. You can fine tune them to how you want them all the time. Personally, I just like to have them there so that it automatically places a take profit and stop loss, and then I'll adjust the take profit and stop loss just based off market. If I placed a trade here now, it might put the stop loss here, or where would it put it? It would, if I placed a trade now, it would have put the stop loss just here. I might just move it up a little bit, but I'd want to keep it below this low point here. The reason for that is simply that I'm placing a buy order because from what I can tell, the market's meant to go up. It's trending up. If the market moved below this most recent low point, that would mean potentially the uptrend was over and it might be going to start trending down. So that's when that trade would no longer be valid. So that's where you want your stop loss. And you would put your take profit below, you'd want it below whatever resistance you could find, which would be here. And if we had a look at that, if we placed a trade where that red line is, where I could have potentially got into it, then my stop loss would have had to have been at about, 95 to 100 pips, but my take profit would have had to have been at about 80 pips. So that wouldn't have been a really good risk to reward ratio. And the other thing is the spread at the moment is about 20, 25 pips. So you have to subtract that from the potential move up. So I'd only be looking at the very best, a 6 pip profit, but I would be risking 10 pips to make 6 pips. So not a good risk to reward. And that's simply because of where your resistance is close, which is initially why I said I wasn't going to get into this trade. There is another another indicator that comes with our 8-minute trader subscription, and that's called the max indicator. This is something they had before the 8-minute software, the scalper software. It's got a lot of good info here and everything. And I do like what this is showing. It shows these blue boxes are where support are. Let me zoom in a bit more. So this, you can see the low point. So this is where all various different supports are. And I'll go up a time frame here. And then you've got yellow boxes where resistance is. So like I was saying, the market's already pretty much touching on that resistance box. So there's not a big room for, it could break through and go way up for sure, yes, but there is resistance there, so that you couldn't, a sensible trader just sort of takes profit at the next resistance. So with this indicator, we also get this trade manager, which is a more advanced trade manager. You can, as you can see, there's a lot more information. You can still set it to place an automatic take profit and stop loss, but you can also set various different types of trailing stop losses automatically, and not just one that trails smoothly behind. You can have one like what they call profit locks. And if we turn this one on, what it could be is when the market gets into 100 points of profit, into 10 pips of profit, the stop loss is going to jump in at 10 pips. So it'll lock in 1 pip of profit. When it gets to 10 pips, the stop loss will come up. And so you can't, the very worst you can do then is take 1 pip of profit. The beauty of that over just a regular trailing stop is that it's very hard to judge exactly where you want your trailing stop, because as soon as you put in a trailing stop, then if the market flicks back down and closes out and then goes to the moon, you've only taken a really little profit when potentially you could have taken more. With this, it just makes it a no risk trade, but then the market can keep going up and have a bigger distance between the market and the trailing stop, and therefore not flick back down. And there's various different ways of trailing it up. So it'll just jump up in normal trailing stop loss, will just move up in finite increments. This one can jump up in steps. So every 150, every 100 pips it goes up, it'll jump up another one. Just more options with that one, that's all. And I'll just put this old one back on. So Wayne, that's those alerts just popped up simply because I changed the time frame. But the same thing happens when you actually get an alert. It pops up and it'll tell you the time, so you can double check that it's just happened, and what instrument it was on, what time frame, and whether it was buy or sell. That's where that shows up. So that the 8-minute trader, as you know, that was just that old alert. The 8-minute trader, as most people probably know, was during their sort of pre-launch promotional phase. It was all about the live trading sessions on the US 30 Open. And they were so hugely successful with those calls, which was their plan, to promote it, to get a lot of interest and get people excited, so that when they launched, there were a lot of people ready to go. And so for what that was the US 30 opens at 11:30 my Queensland time, which is 9:30 if you're in WA. So when you can trade US 30 any time of the day or night you like. But when you're doing that, you're just trading futures contracts of it. The actual stock of US 30, it opens for trading at 11:30. That's what they call by the open. And most of the time you will see significant movement at the open, because that's when all the big institutional money comes into play for US 30. So I'm on US 30 now. And at the moment, I've got that post-date scalper software on it, the alert software. But for the US Open, I've got a new different template to open up here, and we click it on here. And this is what it looks like. And so what you need to do, you need to have this template on it. You jump on the live call, and they will put what they call buy zones and sell zones, which will essentially be, you know, they'll have a line there. They'll have 2 lines for buy zones and 2 lines for sell zones, but they do their analysis just prior to the call and place it on there. And when the market opens, if it breaks into the sell zone and looks to have a bit of follow through on it, they'll look to place sell orders. And if it goes up, of course, they're doing buy orders. While it's just here in the middle, they don't take any trades.
You made any money with it, Les?
Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, I done a few nights on it, but it all happened pretty quick, eh?
It all happens pretty quick, and it was a little tricky to follow during the free phase because we didn't have access to, you know, this close all button really.
Yeah,
So what Mo, who's the main guy that does the calls, does is if the market pierced through the sell zone, he would place a sell order. You know, he might place a sell order here. Then if the market traced a little bit, he'd put in what he calls a cost average trade. And quite often he ends up with about 3 trades going. And as it goes down, gets into good profit, it will show you the US dollar profit you're in and also the percentage of your account profit that you're in. So that's really good for keeping track of it. And it also tells you how long until that candle closes, because it is quite important in trading to wait until a candle closes, because then you get a full, you know, understanding of what's happened for that candle. But anyway, so let's say he's got 3 trades open. Yeah, if it's all going into profit, that's great. He might close one out for a 1% profit, and then he might put in some stop losses below the entry point, so they're no risk trades, and that way you can safely let it run further. You know, and he'll close out another one in a % profit, and then, you know, you might let the other one run and slowly drag the stop loss down as well to lock in profit. And that's all, you know, when the trades are going in your favor, that's all quite nice and easy and exciting to do. It's when the market goes against you and it's not turning out to be a good day that this close all trade button comes in handy. So what Mo's, you know, the 8-minute trader guys, what their real plan is if whatever trades they have open get into 3% drawdown, so negative 3%, that's when they look to close everything out and take the loss. And, you know, like any trading, there are losing days. Yep.
So on the 8-minute trader, like on the US, when you hit the sell or buy button, does it automatically put a stop in, or is there no stop?
You can set it up to do that. I haven't done that yet. That comes into, I've got to figure out how to do it. I'll have to ask somebody actually, because at the moment we've got this 8-minute. So you do sort of. So at the moment, it's not an individual stop loss for each individual trade. What it is stop loss in points. Okay, so if all the trades you have open get into 1,000 points, say 100 pips of drawdown, then that's a stop loss. So, and it doesn't actually put that on the screen. It's just, I haven't really. It
gives you that protection, that's all.
So that's protection. So if you get into that amount of points of drawdown, then yeah, it's gonna stop you out. The other thing is, prior to being a paid member, we didn't have access to the close all trades button. And if you had 3 trades open, by the time you came down here and click, 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 close, you can do it pretty quickly. But as you said, it moves fairly fast on the 1 minute on the open. You know, if you're in 3% of drawdown and then you go, oh shit, I'm in 3% of drawdown, close, close, close. By the time you did that, you could have potentially been in 4 or 5% drawdown.
Oh, quite easy. Yeah.
Yeah. So
another question for you.
Yeah, so, just quickly, that's why this close all trades button is good. If you see that it's in 3% drawdown, you click that button, bang, they're all closed. So it's much quicker, and plus you've got the automatic stop loss, although I'm still waiting for them to do some training on exactly how, all of those settings work. Go.
So you're running this on a separate platform or on its own? Or you're trading like I trade the indices, as you know. So you have this on a separate account?
No, you don't have to. This account here I've got, it's just $1,000 account, just so I could, I wanted to show people how, I started with $1,000 at the start of this week. And I just wanted to show people how even on $1,000 account, and even though it's going to cost you a couple $100 a month to access 8-minute trader, you can still, make enough to cover the costs, particularly if you factor in, the compounding potential over the course of a year. So I won't do the calculations now. I did it on another call, but if you make 5% profit per week on $1,000 account, over the course of a full year, you would make $10,000 clear profit, a little bit more. The 8-minute trader for a full year is going to cost you a bit under $3,000 for a full year. So even just starting with $1,000, you would still make, this is just, there's no guarantees of amounts, but just on a mathematical example of 5% a week, you'd still clear $7,000 profit for the year. And that's only on a little $1,000 account. And what's happened, just talking about the US Open so far this week, the very first one this week was Tuesday, and they didn't take out any trades. On Wednesday, Mo, I'll just go off Mo, he made 3.3% profit, but there were other guys on the call that made up to 9% profit. And then last night, it wasn't very good. Mo made just a little tiny profit, less than 0.5%. But there were guys on the call that made 2 and 3% as well. So making 5%, just copying what Mo does, can quite often happen just on Monday. And then you've made your goal for the whole week. Then, as I said, it comes down to a bit of discipline in not trading too much and losing that profit if you've got a whole week ahead of you. Okay, I'm going to quickly touch on a few of the other trading things that I'm doing. This is my Avoria Prime Market Makers Trend EA, which is a fully automated trading software. It does the analysis, it places the trades, it closes the trades and all that for you. Actually, this is a point that I didn't quite get into in the beginning when I was starting, when I was saying how no software is perfect. It just runs algorithms. And, with the post-date alert software with 8-minute trader, you get an alert, but it might not necessarily be a good alert. So you got to make that decision on whether to place a trade or not yourself. And this is just my own personal opinions of trading and softwares. So if you think about that alert software, you get all these alerts, but only some of them are trades that you would actually place, and you make that decision yourself. Now, the next step up in the evolution of trading softwares is something like this, the Market Makers Trend EA. Now, it runs its algorithms and comes up with alerts. It doesn't tell you about them exactly, but it runs its algorithms and it comes up with things like alerts that exactly the same as the 8-minute trader software does. But then what a fully automated EA does is it then decides for you and places the trades. Okay, so just like the alert software, some of those trades won't be good ones. Obviously manual trading, some of your trades won't be good as well. But so what I'm trying to say here is that this week using MMTEA, I have closed, like this started out at a $10,000 account. It's now up to $11,000. So I've made $1,012, which is 10% profit already. But my current open trades are in $853 profit. So another 8.5% here. So if I closed all these open trades right here, right now, I would be 18.5% profit up for the week, which is, it, you know, in anybody's language, that's absolutely huge and incredible. But I wanted to temper that excitement with a few, you know, reality checks and home truth, if you will. And so this week, let me just see. I've got this software trades 3 different indices: NAS, DAX, and US 30. So US 30 so far this week, it's lost me $40. So it's lost not quite 0.5%. The DAX has lost me almost 2%. But I don't have it on the weekly. Let me just custom period just for this week. Okay, those figures will change in a minute. But yeah, so my point is I have, all right, that's better. So I had to update it because it wasn't showing the full week's history. It was only showing today's history. So for this whole week, I've lost 4% on DAX, but I've made 6% on US 30, and I've made 8% on NAS 100. So my point is that DAX has lost me money. So the alerts and then the decision to place those trades didn't work out. Just the same as the 8-minute traders alert software, some of those alerts aren't good trades. That's what these were. Now, with the 8-minute alert software, you get the alerts and you've got to decide for yourself whether they're good or bad trades and either take them or not take them. So that's on you. Here, the software is making that decision for you. And it can, you know, like this week, it's made an incredible amount of correct decisions. But there are weeks when it won't make a lot of correct decisions and you will lose money. I've had incredibly good weeks. I've had some pretty terrible weeks and a lot of mediocre weeks. How this software works, though, is, let's just look here. If I was to lose 4% for the day, it would stop trading. If I made 6% for the day, it would stop trading. So that's a good risk to reward ratio. So, you know, if I had 5 days where I hit my equity protector and lost 4%, and then I had 5 days where I hit my my profit protector of 6%, then I'm still going to come out I'd come out 10% in profit if I had the same amount of losses as the same amount of wins. And the weekly protectors work the same way. So if I was to lose 16, so I could potentially lose 16% for the week on these settings. I'm on the high risk settings, but I can make up to 24% for the week. At the moment, I'm sitting at 18.5%, so I'm somewhere in the middle. So using this, just quickly, I've got off the subject a bit, but I would, you know, what would be a good plan for me right here, right now, getting back to talking about having goals and sticking to them. What would be sensible would for me to close these 4 open trades. I'd be over 18% profit in front for the week. I would come up here and I would turn off auto trading and say, thanks for coming. And that's it for the week. I mean, it is Friday, so I'm basically going to be doing that anyway. But what I've been doing with what I'm wanting to do with this account is just completely set it and forget it. I don't want to have any human input in this at all, just so I can share some long-term results. But, otherwise, if I was doing what I've done before, who could be upset with making 18% for the week, which, is going to be over $1,800 for the week. That's pretty bloody awesome. The other thing I wanted to touch on today was, so this EA is from a company called Avoria Prime. The other thing I'm doing with Avoria Prime, as I mentioned earlier, was I talked about the crypto advantage, but the PAM accounts with AP Social. And so this is a new thing that they've got going, and I only set mine up last week. And it did start trading last Friday, but I think I made 25 cents on Friday. So we can't really count that, surely. Let me just log in here. So I didn't go in big with this either because I had absolutely no idea what sort of profit I was going to make with it. So this is my PAM trading account. And I started it with $1,000, and I'm now up to $143. It's dropped down a bit, actually. I checked this morning and it was at $16.60. So they've lost a little bit of money on me, but $143 profit, that's 14.3% profit that I've made in a week. And, there's absolutely, once you set up a PAM account, it's completely out of your hands. You've got to do nothing at all. Every PAM's different. With this particular one, the guy that's running the PAM account, he's going to take 15% of my profits at the end of every week, and that's his cut for doing the work. But, so that's still going to leave me, like, I don't know, I'm not a mathematician, but that's still going to leave me, if we stop now, there's still a bit of trading left today, so it'll go up and down a bit more yet. But at the moment, I would clear 12% profit for the week.
Les, is this like the social thing, is it?
This is AP Social, and what that is PAM accounts. You know PAM accounts, don't you, Wayne?
Huh?
You know what PAM accounts are, do you?
No, I don't.
No? So PAM accounts stand for something like percentage allocation management something or other. What it essentially is a pooled trading account. So yep. I have my funds in my own, I'm using the Envy Broker, but it's in my own Envy Broker account. But it's linked to the FinGo Pro PAM account. So they have complete control of my funds as far as trading goes. And then at the end of every week, so I can't withdraw any money during the course of the week, but at the end of every week, I can withdraw, $1,143 if I wanted to, or I could just withdraw my profits. But I get the option of withdrawing just once at the end of every week. And as I said, they take 15% of whatever profits made.
So this is AP, this is Avoria.
This is Avoria Prime's AP Social, which is, so what they're doing is they're essentially just, I mean, there's thousands of different PAM accounts out there, there's so many out there. It's impossible to know what are good ones and what aren't unless you try them yourself, really, or you get some recommendation from somebody. And that's really what Avoria Prime are doing. They're having a look at them in detail, seeing how they work, seeing their track record, and recommending that this is a good one for us to use. So that's what Avoria Prime are doing to earn their subscription money. And at the moment, they've only got FinGo Pro options. They intend on having a whole marketplace of different PAMs once they find some more good ones. And you have two options with this one. You can have full risk or half risk. I'm on the full risk one. My point of view is that if it's going to work, you might as well have full risk and make more, twice as much. If it's not going to work, well, you're going to find out pretty quick and get out of it anyway. So, you know, I don't want people thinking that, like, because this has been incredible results, but this might be the best week I ever have with it. I don't know. This is my first week. And just talking about, not talking about Avoria Prime at all, but just talking about PAM accounts themselves, don't go thinking that all PAM accounts are potentially good. There are some dodgy ones around. I could personally open up a PAM account and tell everybody, here, put your money into my PAM account, I'll look after it for you. Okay. And I could know nothing about trading. So there's nothing to stop people doing that. So there are PAM accounts out there where you can lose money. You can potentially lose money on any trading, of course, but I know people that have got involved in PAM accounts, and this is why I'm mentioning this, people that have got involved in PAM accounts and they've made money, and then woken up the next morning and they've lost all of their money. Okay, and that's not somebody stealing your money. That's just a trader that's had poor risk management and he's pushed his luck one day and lost it all. So not dodgy, but somebody that's just lost your money for you. So one of the criteria that Avoria Prime have before they recommend one of these is somebody that is actually setting stop losses and take profits, that actually has a good risk management strategy and has a track record to back that up. So you can have a bit more faith in it. Because it's funds that are totally being traded by somebody else, you don't have much control. Each to their own, of course, but it's probably a good idea to, you know, if I make $200 this week, I might, you know, withdraw 100 of it, leave the rest in there to compound, but look to get my initial $1,000 back. And then it's just like an investment of any kind. Then you're risk free and you can keep going. There's no skin off anyone's nose. You know, if it's going to work, if this is a trader that's a PAM account that's going to work successfully long term, I think sure you can get ahead quicker by compounding hard straight up. But if it's going to work long term, which is what we're looking at wanting to happen, then getting your initial money back early keeps you safe just in case it's not. And then, you know, then you can compound after that. If it's going to work long term, well, maybe it takes you an extra year to get rich. But that's neither here nor there. But that's just talking about, you know, individual choices as far as how to manage your money and your risk and your investments go. But yeah, so that's just, I wanted to share this because that's been extremely exciting for me to see this. I was not expecting anywhere near this sort of profit from this PAM account. I was thinking maybe, you know, if I could get 2 or 3% profit per week, I was going to be bloody laughing to the bank. I was going to be loving this. Instead, you know, I'm way up. Yeah, I'll have a quick look at the history. It'll show you all the trades that it's taken out. It doesn't show you all the trades per se. It's just sort of showing the profit. And so this was last Friday. I lost 1 cent. I lost 2 cents. I lost 1 cent. But if we scroll down, there's shitloads of trades. It's a very high frequency trading thing by the looks. So we've got some $5 wins, $6 wins. But I had a bit of a look through, and I think $8 was the biggest win I've had, and then lots of little ones. But that's neither here nor there. It's what the actual dollar value at the end of the day turns out at how much money you're making. That's what it's all about. That's all that's important to me. But yeah, so that's.
So you don't actually have your own MMT4 platform or anything for that, Les?
No.
So if you
can log into. You still do have login details, and you could log into it on onto an MT4 or your MT4 app. You won't see every individual trade all the time though, because those trades are occurring on a different account. but you will get to see all the profits and all the withdrawals, et cetera, et cetera. So you'll see the 15% withdrawal that they take each week. You'll see the deposits when your money goes in, withdrawals when you take some of your own money back out. You'll see all of that activity, but you won't get to see all the individual trades, I don't think.
So if you've got a silver pass and you're only using one of the, like I'm using MMT,
yep.
Can you use the other one to join this?
You don't have to.
Huh?
You don't even have to. So this is how it works. If you have a silver access pass or above, even if you're using 2 EAs, okay, so you're fully utilizing your silver access pass, you will then, normally AP Social would cost you $75 a month. But if you've got a silver access pass or above, even if you're using 2 things and fully utilizing it already, you don't have to pay the monthly fee for either AP Social or for Crypto Advantage.
Oh, okay. I might join this one. Look, I got to go now, Les, but yeah,
I was going to finish up anyway, but
and we'll talk anyway. Okay.
I really like the look of the AP Social. The only reason I haven't been telling people that, yeah, you're silly if you don't jump in, is because I didn't know what sort of profit it was going to make. And it's just far exceeded my expectations. As I said, this may turn out to be the best week we get with it, but still, it definitely looks like, you know, my initial hope for 2 or 3% a week is going to happen for sure. So, you know, there is I
might do what you've done and just put $1,000 in and have a look at it.
Yeah, that's what I reckon. I'll you know, if it's looking good in another month or so, I'm going to whack a heap more in, of course, but we're just playing it cautiously still, as I always do.
All right, mate. Well, thank you.
No worries. I'll leave it to you, mate. Have a good one.
You too. See you, mate. Bye.
I did sort of get off the subject and didn't actually end up taking any trades with the post-date alert scalper, but I did show you how I analyze the alerts and how I make my decisions on what I want to get involved with or not. I wonder how the one that I almost took a trade out on was, not that one, was New Zealand yen. No, what was it? I forget which one it was. Wasn't that one? It must have been this one. No, it wasn't that one either. Sure, it was the New Zealand other one. I forget. I was going to see how it would have turned out, even though I didn't take the trade. I think it might have been because I changed the templates. I lost my everything. Anyway, guys, I hope that I hope you got value out of my call. Have a good night. Talk to you later.